Hello, my astrology friends. This is Lada from AstroladaOfficial, and these are your February 2025 horoscope. February is the prelude to the most intense period of 2025, which will be March and April, because all the planets will be passing through Pisces and Aries in March and April, going retrograde, eclipses, changing signs. Oh, so exciting. But February is the preparation month with some very positive effects that we'll receive from the universe. First of all, it's Jupiter is turning direct. Here it is, my calendar, my 2025 calendar. You can have it now. It's 200 pages, almost interactive. But first of all, Jupiter around the 4th turns direct. And this is a great blessing. When Jupiter turns direct, here is the text for it, but you can start seeing results and rewards for previous actions. We can get the blessings from above, resolutions of moral problems of some sort, just the turning of the winds. Jupiter becomes much more stronger. I call it like double Jupiter when it starts turning direct, because it's energy, it's basically stationary pretty much the whole of February around the 11th 12 degrees of Gemini, and it's a very auspicious degree because right behind Jupiter, where it's turning direct and it's going to become stronger and things will start moving forward for us, it's the most auspicious star in the sky, the star Aldebaran, which in ancient astrology is the star of wealth, of blessings, of fortune. So this is a good omen for the finances of the world. Jupiter is turning direct there. So hopefully, generally, all of us will see some financially, some improvement in your personal life. It will depend where it affects you, what kind of blessings this Jupiter with Aldebaran will bring. The bullseye, the luckiest star. But yes, that's the one good side of it. And we're going to have Venus entering into areas where it's going to stay 3 months, the whole of February, the whole of March, then it skips April, and the whole of May. So when Venus is so long in a sign, it's going to give us blessings there in certain area of our life. Think back to 2017 around the spring. There was a similar situation there, but I'll go through each of the 12 signs to see. Venus always improves and makes better whatever area it passes through, despite of its retrograde motion, which will start in March. Its final goal is to make something perfect, more balanced, more worthy of our time, more pleasant, more easy to receive help there in some way, to improve it, to make it better. So certain areas of your life you're going to be making better and improving. And another big event is that Mars is turning direct towards the end of February, 23 degrees. It's been retrograde December, January, most of February. As I said, I expect this Mars retrograde to bring changes, corrections of the prices of real estate, of borders, of countries, and maybe stalling back wars because Mars is moving retrograde in some way. But there will be kind of like maybe endings of fights, of battles, or easing off of difficulties in such areas. If there was problems, they start getting fixed. If there was inflammatory conditions, flus, hopefully will become less so, and energy and productivity will increase. You might see the results of working hard on something and starting to see the results of it. And emotionally, people will not be as tense and so sensitive and touchy as they are during Mars retrograde. But that's mostly towards the end of the month that we'll see those improvements. And the other big event that is happening is the North Node with Neptune. We've never seen this in our lifetime, and we'll never see it again, because Neptune will never be again in Pisces, and North Node with Neptune in Pisces is once in a lifetime experience. They're joining together. The whole February, March is under its influence. They're within a degree all the time together. It's going to get surreal, guys. Neptune is otherworldly planet. Pisces is otherworldly energy. North Node, wherever it goes and joins Neptune in Pisces, it's like you're in some LSD trip. Some of you will be waking up and wondering, do I live on Earth, or what is this different reality? I'm a parallel world of some sort. You'll see it maybe on the news that it's a lot of new energy. North Node starts a new cycle with Neptune for which will be 16 years old, but it's very Piscean. It's unfamiliar. Pisces is unfamiliar. It feels foreign. It's very different. You're waking up in a new world, in a new reality. This will happen in your personal life as well. And also intuition will be through the roof this month. People will be dreaming about past events, past life, future events, because the wall between the worlds thin with this really like a portal to another dimension, Neptune and North Node together. So in some areas of your life, depending where it falls from your ascendant, sun or moon, you might have like epiphanies. God might show you directly through your third eye or through intuitions and hunches and inspirations, some secrets that were revealed for you and that you'll become aware of. But also there is a negative side to Neptune North Node, because all the negative vibrations of Pisces and Neptune can escalate through the North Node. Fears, blame, guilt, fear of the unknown, this kind of low vibrational emotions that is just fears, paranoia, suspicions as well, victimhood states. And so be careful, stay at the high vibrations the whole 2 months, February and March. I would advise you, if you can listen to classical music, to bring in the high vibrations of Neptune, North Node, Pisces, be around nature more, have introspective time alone. We're going to have a lot of Pisces planets, as you can see, not just February, but March and April. So many planets will be there. It's going to be crazy. So this inner work and introspection is good to do, but something magical can come through Neptune North Node, because they open portals to the astral. If you're connected to the high astral, if you're naturally forgiving, kind person, if you can let go of the past, if you can let go of things that no longer serve you, you can have like a divine gift of blessing. Neptune is divine love, unconditional love, and divine grace. And the North Node enhances it in Pisces. So like a miraculous events and even actual miracles, I don't know, Fatima scale can happen around the world, but in your personal life as well, where you're freed from karmas you've been carrying for a long time. Pisces, the last time of paying off the karma. Neptune is also the same energy. The North Node is, kind of escalates all this. So you pay off some debt and you're freed from something. A miracle happens in your life. Like God gives you through unconditional love, not because you deserve it, because God is loving, the Creator is loving. If you turn towards in a prayerful condition, an introspective condition, if you give yourself time after you wake up to go within, there can be some true miracles that happen. And just dreams will be crazy. Just to warn you, Neptune with the North Node, you might be dreaming of things that very vivid dreams that come to the surface, sometimes almost real. Like, just be aware, maybe a bit more rest in February and in March with the so many Pisces energies. But Mars is turning direct, so things will start becoming. But Mars turns direct at the end of February, and Venus and Mercury turn retrograde in March. So it's non-stop February, March. So January, February, March, April. After April, things start becoming much more smoother, guys. But just the preparation phase, and use the Piscean energy of Neptune and the North Node to manifest. And Saturn is there. Neptune is a high ideal. Connect yourself to high refined feelings through art, through music, through imagining how you want things to be, the ideal version of it. And Saturn is there, can make it happen over the next 2-3 months to manifest it. Use this connection to the higher world, so otherwise you don't want to connect to the inner fears, the lower astral, and deception. You have to be careful with Neptune North Node. There'll be many charismatic figures that appear, prophets, gurus, saviors of the world. Neptune Pisces is to save, and people feel very excited about that. But the bubble will quickly burst if such figures are not truthful and aligned to divine order, whether they're rulers, leaders, or people in your personal life. If they're promising you the moon and the stars, which these halls will be very high in February, March, because in April, the North Node and Saturn join together. So the bubble will burst. Saturn is a corrective influence down to earth, And if you don't see results, you have to correct something, or you see the lies, or if it was like a proper inspirational figure or idea you had, you can start manifesting it towards April. This ideal that comes to you now, this inspiration that you divinely download. So wow, what a magical, what a surreal, what another worldly energy we are gonna have. It's gonna get weird, it's gonna get fantastic, it's gonna get intense emotionally. And let's dive into the 12 signs. If you want my personal horoscope for each of the 12 signs for 2025, I'm putting a link below. Each 2.5 hours for each sign. I've poured my soul and heart in them. We sold thousands so far, no refunds, no one has asked for one. People are loving them. If you want to try for your personal sign, I recommend Ascendant. And if you want all 3 Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, it's a discount price. Putting a link below, or the calendar, so you know what is happening every day of the year. But now let's begin for the 12 signs. Pisces, Sun, Moon, or Rising, February 2025. Pisces, the most intense and the most important period for you is starting this year. Pretty much all of the planets starting from February into March and April will pass through your sign. Very powerful activation of you for you. And it starts from February already. You know, you had Saturn in your sign for almost 2 years now. But Neptune for 14 years is the last month Neptune will stay in your sign. Well, it will go back again towards the end of the year, but the month, and Mercury has moved there. And in April, in March, Venus, and March and February, there will be an eclipse here. Mercury in April and Venus will come back. A lot happening for you guys. But we start already with pretty big stellium in your sign this month. Even though the sun is in your 12th house, there might be a sense of tiredness still. But towards the 15th, 16th, 17th, when the sun enters Pisces, of February, you start getting more and more energy, revival, renewal. And there is a new cycle starting in your sign. Actually, more than one new cycle, but the most important one is between, well, there will be a new cycle between Mercury and Saturn, between Mercury and Neptune, but these are just 1 year cycle, even shorter. A new 14, 15, 16 year cycle is starting in Pisces. So the last degrees of Pisces, so the last 5 degrees of Pisces, will feel it very strongly, but it's still in your first house for all the other Pisces. Neptune will join the North Node, and that only happens once in your lifetime, and never will happen again. So there is a portal, a magical portal, I would call it. Neptune is so magical. Pisces is so magical, otherworldly. There is an opening directly to the invisible worlds. And Rahu, the North Node, wherever it goes, it already opens portals, creates the black holes, creates the black, what's that called? Eclipses. So it opens portals into other worlds in Pisces and Neptune. And you're connected to these invisible worlds, like the line, the wall between the two worlds really thins for you, Pisces. And you're the recipient of the most powerful intuitive inspirations, imaginations, and intuitions. And if you're a high vibrational person, if you're a kind, pure person who is self-conscious, you might be connected to the Almighty. You might be connected to departed loved ones now. Your intuition, you know things. You get messages from above, and messages that Neptune sends, they're in symbols, in omens, in images. They're not in words so much. They're not going to hear voices. They're in symbolic, in symbology, in premonitions, in feeling. Trust that feeling. But if you're a lying, deceptive, everyone probably tells lies, you can't be perfect, but if you're more on the side that you're dodgy, you always look for the easy way. How can I scam someone? How can I trick someone? Or always being ambivalent, never telling the truth, so you keep a few options for you, then that Neptune North Node can take some away towards more deceptive direction. So So if you know some Pisces, maybe you're not a Pisces, but you're watching for some Pisces and they already have this inclination, watch them, because this Neptune North node open portals to the astro. And there is high astro and low astro. You can get very deceptive, tempting influences, or can tempt you into, oh, this is so beautiful, come here, have a glass, have a drug, have a line, or, oh, why don't you just take this, or scam this, or tell them this. And this path is very slippery, quickly can slip you down, and then very quickly you'll hit on a rock if you go down this path. Because after that, the North Node will conjoin with Saturn. So I want to warn Pisces, try to be as moral and as honest, even if you're confused about some things, as possible in the next couple of months, February, March. So you can attract the higher vibration of Neptune North Node, which is divine inspiration, divine grace, unconditional love of some sort. So some of you can attract unconditional love. Some of you can attract so much healing and forgiveness and releasing of ties, and something new can come to you. This big inspiration, new ideal, new beginning in life that for years and years you can be like a mission, like a divine mission that aligns you to your soul desire, because Neptune's high vibration is what the soul is most attracted, most love to do. So you have these two options. And there may be people in the middle that nothing happens for them. Of course, as always, of course. But so don't get tempted into the easy, slippery slope, or get rich quick, or very something that, that smells a bit of, promises you very quickly big rewards, and if you stay at high vibration, God can really give you big rewards right now, the universe, like an answer to a prayer, because you open this channel to the astro, and you're going to have such powerful manifesting abilities, I would say, those next 4 or 5 months, because Saturn and Neptune are together. Neptune is ideals, new imagination, new inspirations. Rahu, the North Node, expands it even more. So you imagine something, I think, you imagine something, you see it clearly in your eyes. So I would advise you to do manifestation ritual, to focus on something you want. And when the North Node touches Saturn, you'd quickly, you'll be able to manifest it, make it happen. So your biggest power now is imagination and intuition and ability to create in your mind and to see it clearly, to download this information. And then Saturn, Neptune, they're together, and the North Node goes to Saturn. You can make it a reality, but some new opportunity opens up for you. Those later degrees, Pisces, will definitely feel it very strongly, 26, 27, 28, 29 as well. It's almost like shedding of old skin and putting on a new skin. And when you have North Node in the first house already, fated relationships start happening, fated interactions with others. Very, very important period. February, March, April. Your life will change, Pisces. I'll tell you, especially in March. Whoa. But this is already the opening of a new reality. A new matrix that Neptune is downloading from the higher worlds for you, a new path for you that the North Node will allow you to access and hopefully manifest through Saturn. And the more high vibrational it is, the more it's an ideal that it's not selfish, that can benefit not just you, but others, for the highest good of others, the more easy to manifest. While selfish or dodgy things, as I said, they quickly hit on rock and get exposed within the next 2-3 months, because Neptune, Saturn is the karma giver. So yeah, some new things entering your life, inspirations and so on. At the same time, Venus is entering your second house and will stay there the whole of February, the whole of March. Not in April, because it will come back to your sign there. We'll speak about it in April. because it will be huge. April is very big for you, March and April, and then comes back in May into your second house. But the majority of its very long stay in Aries, Venus will be in your second house, and it's good because wherever Venus goes, it wants to bring you the material and pleasant side of this house, to upgrade it, to perfect it, to make it better, more balanced, more harmonious. So it can want to ask you to rebalance your finances over the next 3-4 months, to be more balanced in spending. But initially you might have a desire to spend on some luxury or beautiful things, because this is Venus after all. In the second house, more quality stuff, spending on pleasures. But when it goes retrograde, there'll be like rethinking of finances and investments, and how you can do it more in a worthy way. Also, Venus can make you gain valuable, attractive things that you really want. But overall, it wants to, and also money from others can come to you, because Venus rules your 8th house, going into the second. But overall, by the end of Venus stay in your second house, which is towards the end of May, in the middle of May, you must have more financial growth. For me, when Venus goes retrograde in Aries, which was, I have my second house because there, which is very similar, like being Pisces rising, my income always increases. But I usually, during the retrograde period, I do some corrections, some reimagining how things can be done in a more graceful, more worthy way, remove the extra expenses of things that, or invest in something that will beautify it, make it more harmonious, more easy to use, more attractive, or create some product that is more attractive to others, more worthy for the investment and time. And always, it's very financially rewarding times for me, even despite the retrograde. So I wish the same for you. My second house cusp is there. So yeah, if it's happened for me, I'm sure it can happen for you. Also, you can make some beautifying work in February on your teeth, on your face. Always the face becomes more attractive when Venus is for a long time in the second house. I naturally have it in the second house, so yeah, I have good plump here. At 43, not many wrinkles, no fake procedures or anything, so that's good. So even if you don't have Venus in the second house, Venus staying for a long time in your second house, you can make your appearance more attractive, your face. You can make some natural healing procedures and usually by the end of this period, people will notice, wow, you look better, your eyes, your face, your teeth, So good for teeth, eyes, face, whatever. When it goes retrograde, we'll speak about it, but there is a little bit more different thing there, but that's for March. Second house is also your voice. I don't know, you can train your voice to sing now. You can really give it more beautiful tones. You can be magnetic with your voice. If you do some project using your voice, can be very successful now. Second house is eating food. Venus wants you there to make your food more natural, more nourishing in a healthy way. Find foods with more life force in it. Venus rules life force as well, nurturing, healing, and you can find it easier to change your eating habits now to improve them. Of course, Venus can have a negative side of overindulgence sometimes with sweet and so on if it's making hard aspect. But overall, that's a good period to improve towards more natural, because Venus is natural. Venus rules Taurus, natural substances that are good, really good for you to improve there. All right, so yeah, maybe your appearance improving, your finances, your teeth, and so on. And you're gonna enjoy such routines, taking care of teeth, of face, of whatever, good makeup, I don't know, upgrading those things. And you're gonna have Jupiter turning direct. Now that's important because Jupiter rules you from the beginning of the month. Jupiter turns direct on a very lucky star, and you're Jupiter Pisces. Yes, Neptune rules you, but Jupiter rules you as well, just as powerfully, even if not more powerfully. Jupiter is the whole month very close to the star Aldebaran, which promises for all Jupiter ruled people like Sagittarius and Pisces more luck overall, more fortune. And our star Aldebaran is connected to financial wealth and blessings. So that might be also part for some of you Pisces that you notice it now. Jupiter turning direct in your fourth house and ruling your first house. You'll see how things start moving more easier for you from now on. Some delays, some frustrations will start moving ahead. And Jupiter is turning direct in your fourth house. If you're trying to sell or buy property and it was delayed, or you are not certain where you want to live or about place of living, that there can be clarification now what you want to do, or things will align themselves with ease. Or if there were some problems at your home with property, with parents, with real estate, it starts improving, it starts giving results. So it starts giving, if you have a garden, it's fruits or taking shape. Or if you've been building or expanding a house, now you can start seeing over the next 3-4 months the final result. Or it becomes easier for anything fourth house connected. Plus, it's really healing emotionally. Jupiter moving direct for the next till June in your fourth house. I always feel most content when Jupiter is in my fourth house, around my fourth house, from the ascendant and from the moon as well, but usually from the ascendant is, there's this sense of peace and coming to terms with the past and accepting it and feeling home, happy, and this contentment more. The fourth house is known as the house of happiness. And why we're unhappy very often is traumas from early childhood, unprocessed feelings that we store. When Jupiter transits the fourth house, and especially when it's moving direct, we have progress and breakthrough and illumination to what might be breaking or stealing our happiness, and healing it, releasing it, letting it go. There can be some intellectual realization as well because it's in Gemini. But matters concerning real estate, property, parenting, it can be good news for anything to do with parenting or with your parents as well, starts moving ahead. All right, and then Mars is turning direct as well. But most of the month is still retrograde in your fifth house. It's been retrograde December, January, and February. It will continue to be in your fifth house, retrograde till the 23rd, 24th. So there might be some still complications in matters regarding children. Like I remember when Mars was retrograde in my fifth house, I was going bonkers what kind of education to do for my children. I read and basically I was just obsessed with reading unschoolings, homeschooling, alternative democratic schools, traditional schools. So the spirit of Mars retrograde, they can be about research, trying to see alternative way of how to do parenting, how the relationship with children. My children were very difficult when Mars was retrograde there. They were going through some difficult stage of growth. So when Mars turns direct towards the end of the month, all of those things, you'd resolve them, you'd have clarity about them. If your child or firstborn is going through some difficult period, it will start overcoming it and things giving results, becoming better. Fifth house is your romantic life. If you've been struggling, your romantic partner or your love life has been under scrutiny or under question or under some pressure or under some stresses there, they would also start resolving towards the end of the month. Or if you've been working on some creative project but it's been delayed, maybe you're making a website, maybe you're writing a book, maybe, I don't know, something that is your own idea, your own creation, your own baby, and you had to smooth out some rough edges, edit, or sit a bit with it to see it from a different perspective, how you can do it. Now when it starts moving direct, you might complete it, see the results of it, to start moving forward ahead with this project. But overall, Mars is helping you. Mars is making a trine to you, Pisces, so it's not a disruptive influence. If anything, it will give you a lot of good insights. And when it starts moving direct for your actions, even if you're doing difficult things, you'll have the motivation, the willpower to go ahead, to move ahead. And it's a great time to exercise when Mars is in the fifth house. Perfect time for exercise, actually. For some kind of sports, for some kind of putting energy into creative projects, into discovering what you truly like. Even if you're not enjoying it at the beginning, push the effort while Mars is still retrograde and still in your fifth house for the next couple of months. Retrograde only till February 23rd. Because if you try and push through the resistance, which is Mars's energy to push through, you can, even if you're not good initially at some sport or some hobby or some activity or some creative project, you'll break through and have very good results after that. So there you go. But you see that the most of the energies, the most important are in your first house in February and in your fifth house, which is self-house. Self-houses of self-improvement and of doing things on your own, but you are good with it. You are making it through, and you're focused on yourself. Fifth house is also the house of inspiration, of spiritual exercises and practices. Mars there can help you to push through and really have and instill in yourself spiritual exercises or activities that make your life more joyful, more flowing, more meaningful, more joyful. Especially after Mars turns direct, you start noticing this. And you have the energy to create things, to do things that inspire you now. First house is new beginnings, especially the second part of February. You start seeing a lot of new things entering into your life, and Mars moving direct from then on as well. You'll have the motivation to go through with them, to put your creative juices to make it happen. So, and Venus will give you a nice support financially, hopefully, or help in some way materially, or through family. Jupiter in the fourth house, that can be of support for you in this very pivotal moment, Pisces, where you're starting something new, where you're being renewed. So many planets in your house, first house, new beginning for you, and you're gonna have the support of your family, because both the second and the fourth house, where Jupiter and Venus are the two benefics, are connected to family. Your private life, there is the support while you're making miracles in your personal life, initiating something, creating something. So thank you.